is a travesty, and that we will take this forward.
I just want to say, you have to understand, we expected this. This is proof that the film is working. We actually have the CDC now running, trying to cover their fingerprints, trying to cover their ways, because this film is having the success it's having. So I'm not worried about it. In fact, I think it's admission of guilt. If you think about it, they believe in the study, they'd be standing behind it. And if they decide to change it, that's proof that we were right. We're going to win.
Lady in the blue shirt, and then someone down here, I think.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say how much I love all of you for your courage in the pursuit of truth. I know you've all made a lot of sacrifices, so thank you. And also, I wanted to just ask, I hope afterwards you'll have a little bit of time for some of the special people we have in our office. We have someone here tonight who's running against the co-author of SB 277. Also, I don't know whether she wants to stand up, but we have a scientist from the Salk Institute tonight who has really serious concerns about vaccines. So if you want to stand up, great. If you don't, I know how hard it is for people in science now. Thank you for coming, scientist from Salk.
Giving up now your votes. These two ladies here, and then we go to the back again.
I wanted to say again, thank you so much for your courage. Ed, she's going to be embarrassed, but my daughter was my third child to get diagnosed with autism all at the same time, and it was 2 years after her brother had a serious vaccine injury, and she only had one MMR, and that was because of Dr. Wakefield, and we stopped it after that, and her titers 10 years later are still uncountable. They're so high. Her doctor swore when she saw the titers come back, and she said, if you would have given her one more vaccine and not stopped, we would have lost her. So here she is. She's 13, and she's mostly recovered. And she was diagnosed at age 2 because she lost all of her 30-plus words between her 18-month visit and her 24-month visit. And the pediatrician, thank God, pointed it out to me because I had my hands full with 3 kids at that time. And I just said, whatever is wrong with her brother, we need to fix it because she's copying him. And the pediatrician actually said, no, she's not copying. There's something wrong. And luckily, we were able to get her diagnosed and get her treated really quick. But she was completely nonverbal, and she's a GATE student now, and she's college bound, and she's heading into high school next year, and she's just a blessing because of what you did.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. This is Lee.
I would like to preface my story as to I am a sibling of a child with autism. We are 17/18 months apart. I don't remember witnessing him not having autism. And one of my first memories is of my mother explaining to me what autism was and how he had it. And last year in my biology class, I am a sophomore in high school as of right now. My teacher talked about you, Dr. Wakefield, and he called you like, he was like, this guy's insane. I was like, if you were to have lived my life, you would know there's a serious problem. He's not insane. There's a definite problem into this. Mm-hmm. And having a sibling who is affected by vaccines, can you say that, do you believe that there is a genetic connection to, if someone's genetic line has a definite probability of being affected, do you think that could continue genetically in a certain line?
Is there a genetic predisposition? Yes, I mean there's a genetic predisposition to a whole host of diseases, but unless you encounter the environmental trigger that's necessary to turn that predisposition into a disease, you're going to be fine, you're going to be healthy all your life. Now, that genetic predisposition isn't one gene or 2 genes, it's probably 50 different genes, and it's different genes in Jewish populations in Philadelphia than Japanese populations in Seattle, for example. So it's not the same. And those genes aren't defective genes, they may actually be survival genes. Nature doesn't conserve genes at random, it conserves them for a reason, and it may well be that they were beneficial in the past, but we changed the environment, in other words, we vaccinated rather than got infected, and then they become at-risk genes. But there are many other factors that play into why someone should be at risk. So what we hear in the clinic is, my child was sick when they were vaccinated. They'd been on antibiotics when they were vaccinated. They got 8 vaccines at the same time. So there are many, many things that play into the risk, and genetics is just one of them. But they're not defective genes. It may well be that, as I say, they were survival genes. And it's not going to, you can study genetics all you like. Unless you take away the trigger, you're never going to remove the disease process.
Can I just say to you as well that I think being a sibling of with a brother with autism is possibly one of the most hardest things that anyone has to do. I think it's harder than being a parent. I think you not only see your brother suffering, but you also see your parents in that pain. So I want you to know I totally get it, and I think that's a story to be told in the future for everything you've gone through. So thank you.
The lady behind the black shirt, then this lady in front of the black shirt. Yes, that's you, and then the lady in front of you.
Thank you so much for being here. I just have a quick question from a medical perspective as well as a mother perspective. My daughter had a vaccine reaction when she was 13 months to the DTaP with seizures and encephalitis. We also have a long medical history of autoimmune diseases in my family. We have 2 medical exemptions that were overruled by the courts because of SB 277. 2 weeks ago, the physicians gave her the DTaP shot, which was the one that she had the reaction to originally. Thankfully, she's fine, and I was just informed that she's going in for 2 more shots on Friday. She has mono. So she also already has an a compromised immune system while she's receiving these vaccinations. It's talked a lot about the MMR and like the infancy. If she's already had a vaccine reaction, she was diagnosed with IBS at the age of 2 because she had the chronic diarrhea. She had the like zoning out. She was like asked by Easter seals to start because she wasn't speaking properly.
Can I just add, this is her father that is vaccinating her against the will of her mother.
What are the immunological consequences for a child who's 11 years old for the MMR vaccine? I know it's talked a lot about infancy, but if she already has a predisposition, what am I looking at here? And as a mother, how can I speak my voice in this?
Wow. I see this a lot. Holly sees this a lot, where you have couples are separated and one wants to get the children vaccinated and takes out a court order or whatever to force the vaccination on the children when the other member of the relationship really, really doesn't want it to happen. This is just so cruel. I'm astonished that in the face of a prior adverse reaction, you could not get a medical exemption. There are doctors in this state.
I have 2 medical exemptions. She has 2.
And despite that, they're going to force her to be vaccinated. This is beyond me. I mean, this is where you need a lawyer to step in and say, right, this has got to be stopped. An injunction has to be taken out. We're going to see so much more of this, aren't we? We're just going to see this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, no words on this other than she can't be vaccinated. We have to stop what's happening. And if you can't, let's talk afterwards because I've got some very clever friends that may be able to help you. And between us all, we can't let this happen.
I'm a lawyer and I know
If you would talk to this lady afterwards, it would just be, because you know what, you're the person who's going to be left to pick up the pieces of something that was horribly wrong. And the courts aren't going to do it, and the doctors aren't going to do it. And frankly, I doubt very much whether your ex-husband, if that's who it is going to do it. So,
can you get him to come and see this film?
it would be wrong. I would love to.
Okay. Okay, well then, so see that lady and come see me as well.
This lady here.
I just want to say, first of all, that's my kid. She's not going to like it, but that's my kid that was speaking. But we do have, yes, we do have postcards with basically the same thing that says at the end of the movie. They're passing around. I don't think I have enough for people to take more than one or two. So if you have both things, get one because you didn't need to take a picture of it. We have everything that was said at the end of the movie on a postcard with it to make it nice and easy for you to follow directions on what was asked to contact your government.
Thank you so much.
I might consider a campaign. I think I might put your husband's name on Facebook. So all these parents that are suffering with autistic children and have his phone blown up with real stories and there might be something.
My daughter has written this song and it was posted on Facebook and I can forward it to you all. That's about her experience around this whole situation.
Awesome.
Yes, so two ladies at the back there. Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you. First of all, my son is actually injured, and we're actually going through the compensation program. So I want to say thank you for this movie. My husband came and is completely amazed at what has been happening underneath. So, but I wanted to ask you, throughout SB 277, a lot of us were really active in the fight, and we made friends with legislators in their offices. Is there any way that we can get this movie? We've invited them to come, but feedback is like they're uncomfortable just to kind of walk in. Is there any way that we can get them to see this film in their own like surroundings or something like that, especially in California, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're working on exactly that, but if you have a specific contact and you know you can get an approval, certainly let us know. We're providing this film for any politicians that will look at it. That is obviously the main purpose of what we're doing here is to start changing these laws. So, you know, just contact us if you have someone that will legitimately be looking at it and we'll make that happen.
If you go to our website, go to the website, go to contact, and then send an email, and we can.
Like put in the subject line, Congressman wants to see a movie or something like that.
And the lady next, the lawyer.
Well, thank you, the lawyer. I was actually going to piggyback on what she was saying, but first of all, I just want to say most of us here actually know each other because of the fight. Thank you. Hi, everybody. We love you. Thank you for everything you did. I wanted to say, Dr. Wakefield, I was at the DAN conference in Orange County back in '99 when you first presented your first study, and I was one of the parents who raised my hand, having vaccine-injured children myself. But this movement and everything you guys have been doing has been so inspiring as someone who has not only fought for her own children, but has fought for other children. And so I just want to say, you know, thank you for everything that you've done and put on the line, because I also know how that could be career suicide, to be willing to face what we've been facing. I worked for a state legislator for a while trying to get our capital to understand that, and then things went awry with who's been getting elected. So, so anyway, thank you so much.
Let me just say, please, I thank you very much for gratitude. Don't feel sorry for me. It's been a privilege doing what I do. I may not have a medical license anymore, may not. I make movies, and it's however I can help this community, and but it's been a privilege. It's been rough on occasions, but so what? You know, get over it. It's just there's something much more important. So, thank you. Who I've run out of who?
How about right here?
Hi.